play or chemistry with the centerman, or what's in his way right now?
Well, I think it's the same thing that's in the whole team's way is it's a little bit of chemistry. It's a little bit of people relishing their roles on their team. That's not so much for Pasta. He knows what his role is. But, if you look at the course of our season, like we look disjointed at times. We're starting to trend the right way. But a lot of that comes down to those things.
Monty, middle of last week after the 8-2 loss, a lot of talk on social media about your future with the Bruins. Do you hear any of that noise at all? And if you do, how do you kind of focus on what's important and push that out?
Well, the way I deal with it is there's a great poem. It's called Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. And it's a lot of what I believe in the process of our team is you only control the present. And if you worry about the past and dwell on the past, it brings up anxiety or worry or contentment, depending on what you're thinking about. And if you worry about the future, which you don't control, well, then you're really going to have anxiety. So that's where my mindset goes. And, with the struggles I've had personally, that poem really reinforced what I need to worry about, which is the next 24 hours. And that's the way I live my life.
Then after this weekend, rattle off back-to-back shutouts, a little bit validating to see, okay, this brand of hockey works, and we know it works.
I'm not there yet with that. Just being honest, there's too many lapses in our game right now where we're not a 60-minute team, and we just need to continue to build up. We're better, but we're not where we need to be.
Last night, the guys talked about Pasta being vocal and supportive and sort of into it in the third period, even though he wasn't on the ice. How much do you like as a coach just to see that response from one of your leaders in that particular situation?
Yeah, he was incredible. Very vocal, picking up players at the last 15 seconds, talking about what a great team win this is. I said this since the beginning. I've said it numerous times. I'm really lucky to work with the leaders I get to work with. I'm very fortunate. In other places, like you've seen coaches that, it's a big problem. And I'm lucky with the accountability that exists in this culture and the leaders that I get to deal with, because that allows me to hold everybody accountable.
In your group video sessions, when you see things that need to be corrected, do you make it a point to include clips that show players doing things that you like, or do you have to play it straight and say, these are where the deficiencies are?
No, yeah, I think you have to do both. And it just depends on the timing. Like yesterday, we showed clips. It was eight clips. 4 of our puck pressure, all positive. 4 of us playing north and being connected offensively and defensively. Because before a game, when you don't have a lot of time, players you need to get to set them in. This is the image you want. Now, you have a couple of days between games. Now you're going to show a couple of teaching clips, but I always follow it up with a positive. This is what it should look like.
I know you said you're still trying to work on chemistry between the lines, but
They're getting better. I like the lines the last 2 games.
the current configuration.
The current configuration is pretty good. I see 3 lines really developing chemistry. I see a 4th line starting to come. Lacking a little bit of identity. But the way it flows, the lines flow as far as coming out of power play, back to 5-on-5, coming out of penalty kill, everything that way, it's, for me as a coach, it's a lot more fluid.